Morning, everyone. Pastor Allen, Guiding Light Apostolic Ministries. Okay, got a lot of subjects going here. Getting over allergy or something, so excuse me. Okay, we're gonna do some random subjects for starters. Not supposed to do a message. I could preach a message. I'll do that this week. Um, anyway, let's start with some different word meanings. What they mean today and what they meant back in the days. Okay, number one, your pharmacist. The word pharmacist comes from the Greek and Latin word of pharmakia. Pharmakia is actually meaning a sorcerer using medicines. Look it up, do your research. And if you look at the logo of, let's say, certain drug industries, they have a mixing bowl and they have a little thing to crush the stuff up in there right on the logo, right in the front. And unfortunately, they're more like your modern day witch doctors. I'm just telling the truth. You see those movies where they see those people crushing up stuff in a little bitty bowl with things, same thing. So it's just modernized. It's the same practice. And like you get your medicines, your different like cough medicines, things of that nature. If you look on the back of the bottle, be a label reader. Forget the generic name. Look on the back. Read the chemical compositions of what you are taking. And once you read those, write them down and look them up to know what you're taking into your body. You got to do some research before you take your medications. So the liquids, it says serum. It has serum, and this serum has such and this in it. A serum is actually a potion. It's a combination of different things. A serum, like you see these people in these movies mixing stuff in a big bowl. The same thing they do. They're putting all type of stuff in it. It's just modern day. It's modern day sorcery. It just really is. So, now what does God say about it? He says that those that are sick need a physician. They can cut you open, take things out, and sew you back up because they can by no means heal you. God does the healing, period. So, with that said, let me see, my next subject I wanted to bring up was, let me see, we did that. Okay, we're going to cover that. We're finished with the medicine, the pharmakia. That's about it. Oh, yeah, what God meant was, it says that, he said that in the beginning that we had a dietary intake. The first meal was not meat, it was vegetables and fruits. And it says that these will be meat to you. So you can actually have a very healthy life having vegetables and fruits, exempt of meat. I eat meat, so I'm not being hypocritical. I do eat meat. So what I'm saying is the original diet was vegetarian, and that kept people in that time healthier, leaner, thinner. They didn't have all type of high blood pressure, cholesterol. All those things didn't even exist in those days because the food was pure. It's pure. It was untouched by chemical means and all that processed junk and garbage that's killing us right now today. So if you want to live a little bit longer or have a better quality of life, stop eating processed foods. Now, I'm going to touch on that too. But back to the diet was vegetables and fruits in the beginning with Adam and Eve. And he also says that the leaves would be for healing of the nations, representing that the leaves were what we call today, or it's known as apothecary, which is using herbs to heal you. So that's why the medical industry does not let you know about, they try to make it quackery when you talk about herbal healings and herbal things. They want you to take medication that they have synthesized in laboratories and everything to not cure you, but just to numb you up, put you in like a Twilight Zone spaced out state. It doesn't heal you, just basically mask your symptoms over and over and over. But herbs will actually heal your body. Okay? You don't take my word for it. You don't need a sleeping pill. You need to take what's called valerian tea. It smells like an old musty sock. Yes, it does. But you take a cup of that, 1 cup, you can order on Amazon or whatever, valerian tea. Take 1 cup, drink it an hour before you go to bed, and I'm telling you, you'll have a nice, restful sleep. And it will not have you groggy like if you take the Tylenol PMs. They have you groggy for 2 or 3 days and you're just out of it. You get a night's sleep, but you get drugged. You're knocked out. It doesn't have that effect. You have a calming sleep and you wake refreshed. It's almost like it harnesses more. It gives you a better sleep. You get a more restful sleep. Try it. Try it for about a week, 2 weeks. Get you some valerian tea. It's relatively cheap, maybe $7. But then, what is your health? Your health is priceless. You know, we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on our cars and our clothing and everything, and then we don't spend $10 on your own health. Your body is a vehicle too. Your body is a vehicle. What does it carry? It carries your soul around. Invest in yourself. You've put all this stuff out here and everything, but you won't invest in you. Invest in your own body, your own vehicle. Not just your car. What good is your car to get around if you ain't around? You get what I'm saying? You got what I'm saying. So, some of y'all take better care of your cars than you do your own body. You put premium gas, you take care of it, you wash the car, clean it up. And you don't even wash your own self up on a normal basis. Think about that. So treat you like you do your car, and you'll feel better. So anyway, we talked about, okay, 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, I'm just covering a lot of subjects. So bottom line is that, you know, try the herbal medicines. And I'm not saying by any means for you to just stop taking all your medication. I'm not saying that. I am not implying anyone to not take their medication. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that herbal cures cure you. So you have to do your own research on these things. I mean, you know, we're just so quick at getting a pill or something that the doctor prescribed to us. And we don't have all the research on what we're taking. And remember, it's your body, not theirs. They're giving you something that they don't have no side effects. They're not taking it. Don't be someone's guinea pig. So let's go on to, okay, I want to talk about something. The media. Where does the media come from? You always have to check the origin of anything. If you want to know about something, find out where it originated from. Now, the media. There was a time when the Medes and the Persians went to war. It's historical fact. So they agreed to share the kingdom, which is called the Medes and the Persian Empire. And what they did was they had a law that once they made a decree, made a law, they couldn't go back on it. This is the same law that put Daniel in the lion's den. You can read the story on your own. So anyway, the Medes were very good speakers. They were good orators. They were good convincing the people. Now, back in those days, they didn't have any type of communication other than maybe horseback, and they would literally tell them face to face. So what they did was, when someone would come to town from a visiting area, what they would do is they would all run to the theater. And so they wait for them to put on a play. The play would tell what was going on in neighboring communities. So what that came out to be is that the Midians were so good at speaking and orating and getting things across, and they were good actors, okay, that they became what we call today is the media. The media are paid actors. They're not telling you the truth. They're not paid to tell you the truth. They are paid actors playing a part by multi-trillion and billion-dollar industries that control what they say. That's what it is. All fake news, every bit of it. Only thing not fake are the fatalities. That's all fake, fake news. They just make it up. And because we believe them so much, we believe their acting skills so much, we just go along with it. We don't even question it. Now, let me tell you something while I'm on that subject. The reason we don't question it because I think the Russian and the Soviet Union was saying that it takes 50 years to brainwash somebody. Now, excuse me, a couple of years ago, they announced that it had been 50 years. So, what is what is brainwashing? Now you think, washing your mind. No. Brainwashing is this. I use media, TV, movies, to condition your mind in late night TV shows, condition your mind to reject the truth the moment that you hear it. The moment that you hear the truth, you reject it. This is that's what brainwashing means. That you are instantly rejecting the truth as though it is not fact. And you do not do the research to even find out. This is many of the problems with our churches today. You have leaders, the blind leading the blind. You have leaders that knowingly are leading you. They're taking your money, they're taking your time, they're taking everything from you. And they live in mansions and $13.5 million houses, and they have jets and planes. That's not, let's say, the blessing of God. No, that's not it. That's overdoing it. You do not need 4 planes. You do not need a jet costing $13.5 million. Who are you? Jesus rode on a donkey. You got 4 or 5 jets. You don't need no big old luxury $3.50 million jet, man. Who are you? You're robbing the people. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's right. That's not the prosperity of the Lord. That's pimping in the name of the Lord. You're an ecclesiastical pimp. Because all you talk about is money. Your main subject when you talk to people is about money. You don't talk about tithing. You talk about giving money. There is tithing, which is Malachi chapter 3, verses 1 through 8 talks about tithing. I believe in that. That's true. That's true. The true church always paid tithes and offerings. They didn't give their light, gas, and water bill and their phone bill and their house note. That's not God. God's not stupid. God's not ignorant. God's not illogical. He's not going to tell you that. He gives you electric bill to pay your electric bill, light bill to pay your light bill, water bill, the money to pay your water bill. He gives you money to pay your house note. That's to pay your house note. It ain't to get to the preacher. He'll tell you, trust the Lord, and you give it, and you lose your house. If he's not going to help you get another house, you need to leave that church. Ask, you've been in that church. If you were in a spot, you've been in that church 20 years, you paid a lot of money. If your roof fell in, or a tree hit your house or whatever, would you be sure that he would put you up in a hotel for 2 weeks, your family, help you with your food costs, and repair your roof? If you can't, within a reasonable amount of time, I don't mean 3 months from now, you got to take an appointment. If he can immediately meet the needs, so that church can't come together and take care of you, you have a 1% doubt that they won't do that, you need to leave that church. Because that's not the right church for you. It don't go one way. It doesn't go that way. It doesn't go one way. Money don't go up to the top and stay up there. No. If you support a church that will not support you, and you got to look at it realistically. If I was in a spot today, would I be able to go to the pastor? Or do I got to wait 3 months? Would I have to go to the pastor? Would he write me a check without giving me a whole big old long story about how he ain't got enough for everything? Yet he's living in the mansions. He lives in a neighborhood you can't even drive through. This is a hard question. See, you can be a fool. You can be a Christian and be a fool too. But not fool, but you can be just unwise. Don't let the pastor Jim Jones you to hell. You gotta ask yourself that question. If hard times hit, could I count on this church to assist me? If you can't say within 100% yes, you don't need to be there. That's right. I don't care if you've been there 1 day, a year, 20 years. If you give, you give. Okay? So if that church will not willingly, through the love of God, help you, that's not a church for you. So think about that. So a lot of things we just don't get taught. So think about that. Let me see. I had I was going to preach. I had another subject matter. Let me see what I was going to talk about. I had let me see what we got here. I have so many subjects to talk about. What is that? Hold on 1 second. I know I had one. Here it is. Okay. Now, let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 10, 11, 12, and anyway, we'll read from Jeremiah 29. I'm going to read from 10 to, what is that, 14. And it reads, "This is what the Lord says. When 20 years are completed from Babylon, I will come to you and fulfill my gracious promise to bring you back to this place." Now, get this. "For I know the thoughts, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." So, we're going to stop right there. So, before you go blaming God, God says, "I know my thoughts towards you, thoughts of peace and good, to prosper you, to give you a good future."